I need to try and do this when the host isn't using the seasonal modifiers, because that's unfortunately was active during this time. However, this build, I don't have any bonus modifiers for seasonals, so I didn't have any bonus stuff from seasonals active during this video, just so you know. And yeah, the general seasonal modifier when it's active, unfortunately, I say unfortunately because I'm trying to test this without that crap. And I hate that crap, honestly, because I always hate seasonal stuff like that, because it's like, oh, it comes and goes. I don't want that. I want builds that are consistent all the time, not builds that rely on seasonal modifiers. Anyway, it is one that helps tanks more currently, so because it's giving me bonus armor when I take damage. However, some of the enemies do more damage to you, and like I said, I'm not topping that. I'm not capitalizing on it with, using modifiers to buff that more. Because yeah, right now you can do some tank build with the active modifiers, which I'm not using here, but you can do it with them to basically make them completely invincible and legendary. It's totally broken, but I am doing that. So yeah, it's like, unfortunately that minute was still helping me some, but still, based on how I play elsewhere and I've done it without the modifier on too. It's like basically what happens is this guy, he may just need to spam dodge a little bit more in the open, but he can still do everything he does here most of the time, so it's not really that big of a deal in showcasing this kind of build though. Also, like I said, some of the enemies do more damage to you though, so it kind of balances itself out some. And when it's not active, for instance, Adrenaline Rush is giving me a lot of bonus armor though. That's 60% bonus armor from that. And also Adrenaline Rush is constant, so it acts as a source of armor regen in addition to bonus armor. Because like, if you're taking damage when you have it on and it gets taken off you, or you get to like 10% bonus armor. The thing about Adrenaline Rush is when the 5-second timer's up, the next one starts again, and then you just get 60%. If you have 3 enemies around you, you get 60% bonus armor again. So it actually tops itself off. It's basically armor regen with bonus armor, which is why it's so OP in my view, especially for close quarter type missions. So yeah, it's like, I feel like even if that was happening, I would just be using my shield maybe a little bit more, dodging maybe a little bit more. But between my base armor regen, my fixer drone bonus regen, and Adrenaline Rush topping me off, as long as I'm where a bunch of enemies are crowded, like I was here, I still would have been doing the same stuff. So, and again, I would have been taking a little bit less damage too from the enemies. So yeah, I still would have been doing this. I have done that. I need to get a video where the host doesn't have that stupid modifier on. I hate it. But that means that he probably has a modifier build too. And if you saw the damage numbers, like, I was doing almost as much as the highest DPS player in the squad, who clearly had a good build. He had a Heartbreaker Memento set, so it was clearly like a hybrid tank DPS. But still, I'm a pure tank, and I got nothing at all invested in gun or skills whatsoever. So the fact my damage numbers were that high just shows, like, yeah, with Sweet Dreams, being able to take out purple enemies constantly, that's the goal. But yeah, I went back to Sweet Dreams because I realized on this pure yellow, like, fixer drone using build 2, if I use Sweet Dreams, I don't need it on heroic content, but on legendary, that's what lets me basically run with the big boys. It's like, okay, honestly, I was feeling just as good in a different way as the Hazard Protection Revive High meta or the Liberty Pistol Shield build meta. Because, like, I have more regen, more durability from Protection from Elite Survivalists without my shield active. That allows me to still be decent at reviving people slowly just because I'm so tanky to do it. But again, you have to remember, sometimes your team will wipe and you'll be getting spammed by drones. In that situation, this kind of build's definitely at its weakest then. But you can still revive people fairly reliably if you just spread the enemies out before trying to revive someone. Just running around, basically, to get them not bunched together when they're shooting you. And then you can go and revive someone, and I usually can do it just fine on this build too. Also, you have to remember, I'm using Vanguard, so that means I'm giving the team bonus armor, and I try to keep that constant. And that, because of that, that helps prevent wipes more. So it helps prevent the team from putting me in that situation as often. So that's why I still think this tank build is just as good, I think, now on Legendary Strongholds as those others. Like, overall, I think it's just as good. But I would argue it's a better tank build overall for the game, because, yeah, I think it holds its own against the meta tank builds and Legendary Strongholds, but also it's definitely better than them on any kind of heroic content. Because on any kind of heroic content, you don't need the hazard protection anymore at all, because you take less damage, enemies are less of a threat. You definitely don't need the Liberty Pistol shield, invincible shield one, because again, you don't need an invincible shield on anything in this game except Legendary Strongholds. Like, if I'm playing on any kind of heroic, Stronghold, Countdown, anything, I never feel like I need my shield to be strong, that it needs Foundry or anything to still do its job just as good on heroic. And so that's why this kind of build, where it just ditches that, goes for pure armor regen combined with pure protection from elites, and then Vanguard to boost its teammates' armor too. Like, it's the best tank on heroic. I'm sorry, I can't think of a better tank for heroic content. And so that's why I think, like, overall, I'm gonna get people arguing with me, but yeah, I feel like this build is superior to the Foundry, any of the Foundry metas, and also the hazard protection, revive high meta for most content in the game. There might be situations specifically on Legendary Strongholds where those other builds would prove better. Like I said, I already named one when, like, your team wipes and you're getting spammed by bomb drones. But again, on this build, that won't happen quite as often if you're in a good team, because you're giving them bonus armor constantly. And again, like, you're a little bit tankier because of how it's built, so you're able to and Vanguard lets you still, like, if you time it, so you can just get that few seconds of invulnerability to revive someone just fine, or just make it last a lot longer while it's taking a beating while you slowly revive someone, as I've done, and you can still do it fairly easily on Legendary with this kind of build too. So yeah, that's why I say overall, I think it's just the best build for all content in the game. But yeah, you can tell me what you think. And I didn't have time to show, I mean, this is the same build that you've seen in previous videos. It's just now I'm back to using Sweet Dream Shotgun again. So yeah, just to go through it, the loadout real quick is like Sweet Dream Shotgun, the custom card pistol for the +1 skill tier. I do that because it gives me even more armor regen off my fixer drone. Because when I go to my shield, it's because obviously I need to top my armor off again. And then the Reformation talent, which is still a decent amount of healing on my shield when I'm doing it. And then I use, Sweet Dream Shotgun mostly to take out purple enemies, the biggest threat for me on Legendary. And then just a M249 LMG with, like, Optimus talent just to go for max damage on my gun when I have an opportunity to do that. And then for armor, of course, all 6 blue cores. I'm using the Chill Out Mask with a double protection from elites. And so all of my armor pieces have blue armor cores and armor regen cores. And then all of them except Chill Out Mask have repair skills. So I have 5 repair skill buffs. 100% repair skill to double the amount of regen my fixer drone gives to me and teammates. And if you see, like, another thing I do is when I revive someone, especially if I'm not the sole focus of damage right now, I will temporarily loan them my fixer drone right when I revive them. I'm right there, so my fixer drone can immediately switch to them to top their armor off. It heals them a lot faster because of the repair skill buffs and survivalist with the outgoing healing buff. So I'll do that, I'll top them off, then I'll give them bonus armor from Vanguard, and then I'll take my fixer drone back, because at that point I'm probably in the fray getting bombarded by a bunch more enemies and need as much regen as possible. So, but yeah, when I revive people on this guy, I'll temporarily give it to them. Anyway, I forgot to finish off the build. So yeah, using the Chill Out Mask. So, I was saying all of my pieces have armor core, armor regen, and repair skill, except my mask, because it's the Chill Out Mask. So then I use double protection from elites on the Chill Out Mask. Then I use protection from elites on both my armor and my chest piece, and then my knee pads, which are improvised pieces. So I have improvised knee pads with protection from elites too. So that's 5, I think, protection from elite buffs effectively, and then survivalist tree gives me the 6th one, give me up to 70% right now. And then I go Gilligard on my. Oh no, I go Chill Out Mask. Then I have a Point Man chest, which gives perfect Vanguard and acts as another Gilligard brand set. Then I go Gilligard backpack to get the third Gilligard piece for the awesome 2% base armor regen buff it gives you. And then I put Adrenaline Rush talents on my backpack. And then for my gloves and my holster, they're both Golan gear to unlock the 1.5% armor regen buff. And then the status effect buff is not terrible since I use burn quite often on this guy, but it's mostly just to get that extra armor regen.